Hey everybody, this is Blue, and I wanted to do a response video to the Grungeon Master. The other day he made an excellent video. He was talking about dwarves. Okay, how they make no sense because they are kind of shallow in their development and expected to do all these grand things, and it's kind of impossible. What he was mostly talking about is how can these dwarves live underground and yet be able to have food, fresh air, wood, and everything that they need if all they do is live underground. And I've been working on this for a couple of years now with me rebuilding my gaming world. Dwarves need air, and that's the main thing that bothered me the most. And because if they are underground and they are forging, they are burning wood, coal, whatever, so that they can do their smithing, that's a lot of smoke, and fire requires air to ignite. And so in my world, when dwarves build a city or decide to build a city, they go to the highest point of the mountain and they start building the shaft for their master chimney. This is a huge chimney carved into the stone itself, and they go down into the mountain itself. In my world, dwarves live underground, but they also live above ground. They take the mountain that they've decided to settle on and they carve into it, but you only see half of the city. They take a lot of the stone that they've been quarrying out of the mountain to build the walls and the buildings of their stone city. Half of it's above ground, half of it's below ground. So you're only seeing half of it. It kind of adds to the mystery, but that's how my dwarves live, because they need outside resources and you can't mine for those. So let's talk about ventilation. So they build this master chimney up on top of the highest point because heat rises, smoke rises. And as they dig deeper, deeper and further out, they build air vents. Heat rises and the cooler air below will be sucked in, and this will help circulate fresh air so that the dwarves can breathe and their forges can operate. Pretty basic. Now, in the Grungeon Master's video, there was a response to a comment that I made, and because I was saying that all societies have to make certain things universal to survive. You can't just be hiding in the mountain. I mean, they have to build cities, they need to have a form of exchange, they need food, water, they need everything that they can trade with other societies. Because if they are too different, they would not be able to exchange goods. And remember, dwarves love to sell and trade. And the thing is, they can still be different. I mean, you have their size, their lifespan, their characteristics. There could be special resistances, because a lot of gaming systems say that dwarves have a special resistant to heat. Okay, so we can still make the dwarves unique, but they also have to have a lot of similarities to similar life forms. They are a humanoid life form, right? Okay. Food. Okay. Now, there's a lot of people that say that they eat funguses and mushrooms, but I've seen a lot of films and all that where they're eating meat. They are eating animals. And so they have to farm those animals, right? So you can't have every dwarf be a craftsman. Somebody's got to take care of the animals. Okay? And there's multiple forms of work required in taking care of the animals. Okay? So let's do this little part right here.
Send in the goats.
Look at all those goats. Alright, so you need dwarves that can take care of the goats. You're going to need dwarves that can have medical skills, veterinarians. You are going to need dwarves that can train these goats. They just can't grab a goat, throw a saddle on it, and ride it into battle. These are trained animals, and that takes time. And so you have to have dwarves that are not down in the mines forging and making all these items. It just doesn't work that way. It's not realistic. If you want the dwarves to be able to do amazing things, they need to be able to get to the resources. They can't just be in a cave. And so they have to have farmland. Okay? They have to have lumberjacks. Okay? So, this is Sparta. That's trained combat. In trained combat, you have to have people that are focusing on training not just the animals but their fellow dwarves and how to charge into combat. Okay? You need generals that study warfare. Okay? You need the sergeants who understand squad level combat. So not everybody can mine, obviously. I always thought that part was cool. Alright. Counter weapons. Okay. You need engineers to design these, to come up with these ideas, and then they have to go build them and test them over and over to make them as good as they could possibly be for a combat situation. So again, they're building stuff, but those aren't stone shafts. Those are wood shafts. Okay? So we have to be able, like I said, if you expect great things out of them, they need to be able to have the people to make those great things. Mead. There's a lot of stereotypes in which dwarves love to drink, and they like to drink mead. Mead requires honey. So you need beekeepers. Okay? So you need dwarves that are comfortable outside to maintain the beehives, so that they can collect the honey, so that they can brew their mead. Okay, well, let's say they're doing regular wine. Okay, well, you need dwarves that can grow grapes, right? So you need outdoorsmen. We cannot have these one-dimensional characters. And we have to shred all these one-dimensional old stereotypes that we have on races, because they're boring. I mean, if all you have is a cranky drunk warrior miner for representing dwarves, that's going to get boring. And that's why the first image is white. It is old. It's blah. We need dwarves to be multi-dimensional. We need some of them to be farmers. We need craftsmen. Yes. We need cooks. We need people that can do multiple things for the dwarven community for it to survive. in the colored image, that's something I saw online that represents a dwarven druid. You know, we got to give the whole dwarven community depth. And so there's going to have to be some that can be druids. Some of them could be a necromancer and all that. The thing I hate about one-dimensional characters is there's so many of them in all genres, and they make everything boring. Worf, okay? We're talking, Star Trek there. It's a Klingon. And, whenever they show the Klingon battleships, birds of prey, and all that crap, they're dark, gloomy. I think they all got a slight reddish tint to the inside. Why, I don't know. But every Klingon goes, I'm a Klingon warrior. I'm a Klingon warrior. I'm a Klingon warrior too. You never seen in any of their movie scenes, TV scenes, a Klingon technician. Hey, the warp engines are going on. Hey, Lieutenant, whatever, go fix it. They never show that. And so that's why I hate the Klingons, because they're boring. Same thing goes with Romulans. What are they always supposed to be? Treacherous, scheming, and all that. And for a very few of the original series, you don't see a single Romulan fixing anything. Okay? They're boring. Look at the Ferengi. They're boring too. All they do is sell stuff, buy and sell. It's all about the lobes if they can make money, and that makes them boring. I mean, thank gosh there was that one episode where Quark was married to the Klingon woman, and he had to act out like a Klingon into a challenge, and he was able to combine Klingon and Ferengi a little bit, and it was exciting because it wasn't it wasn't single dimensional there. And so that's what we got to do with our role-playing games, guys and gals. Orcs are cannon fodder. They are observed to be, only able to do certain things. I hate that. They're boring. I have grabbed a composition book. I got 20 pages right now of different customs, taboos, and all that on orcs. Are all orcs evil? No. Heck no. Because they're individuals. They're not a hive mind. And so some orcs can be absolutely disgustingly brutal. But then there could be some that are decent, that could almost blend in with regular communities elsewhere. Because they don't want to live the violent life. Yes, you should be able to have a pacifist orc that wants to make cupcakes in a village somewhere. And that should go with every race in their game. In fact, it should go with every creature too. Because the one thing that I believe in, I hate the old D&D requirements that they put on the dragons. What was it? All gold dragons are good. No! There should be a period. Well, not period. There should always be a chance that there is something that isn't what it looks like. Why can't we have an evil gold dragon? Maybe your world only has 10 gold dragons on it. Maybe one of them could be evil. Or make one of them evil. Okay? But that should go with every sentient creature out there. That they have the potential to be good or evil. By saying that all trolls are evil, you are making trolls boring. In some games, they make trolls out to be dumbest and all, and I disagree with that. I think that there should be, a couple smart trolls out there. There should be, I guess you could say, a freak of nature for every race, that you could run into. So you could be going down the road and there's some orcs on a horse-drawn wagon with supplies going to the village that you just left, and they wave at you. Why not? In the world that I am building, the orcs are actually working with the humans, and they're having some problems because of the different cultures, but they're working together because both of them hate the Dragonians, and they want to kill the Dragonians because the Dragonians have been invading their lands. And so there has to be a time where you have to get rid of all the old stereotypes, and this will make your game better. It's something simple, just like the underground races. Rollmaster has a book, Races and Cultures, the Underground ones, okay? Underground races. And, so they have some very set, old feelings to a lot of interesting races. And so, you get rid of these things to make the dwarves better. I don't even think that hobbits, halflings, should be considered underground races. And because what do? And this is important because this goes back to the dwarves. Hobbits, they build their houses in shallow earth. They're earth homes, okay? They have windows. You can look outside. They got doors that lead in and out. Just look at the movie, That's the way the hobbits are. They garden, okay? They raise animals. They make cheeses. They brew wines and meads and all that. Why in the hell can't the dwarves do it? Okay? The hobbits are a little bit stereotyped as just being these gardeners, pigs, because they are always storing more and more food. But why can't we have a hobbit that's a badass? Okay, I think that would make the game more exciting. They do have hobbits and halflings where they get the itch to go wandering and to explore. So they are not as one-dimensional because they have the ability to do so many things. Why can't we apply that status, that type of development with dwarves, gnolls, gnomes, every race out there? Let's stop being so one-dimensional and give details and some new insight and inspirations to all the existing races. Let's have more dwarven druids and instead of thousands and thousands of boring dwarven warriors. Yes, they can all craft. Yes, they could have multiple professions, which is a heck of a lot better than the same one for every single one of them. So anyway, that is my spew for tonight. Let's go make all these fantasy races more exciting. Let's add a couple layers of depth to each and every one of them. Put your comments down below. Please like and share the video, and everybody please have a good day.